What is the next trillion-dollar company in the semiconductor industry? Well, AMD has good chances. And here is why. You only have to answer a few questions to understand why AMD has the potential to increase its market cap from 202 billion to close to 1 trillion. So, to answer the first question, has the business improved? You only look at their fundamentals. And we can see that revenue was up 18% year over year. Gross margins have improved. Same for their operating income, up to 1.7 billion from 1.2 billion non-GAAP. And in this table, you can see their growth rates, year over year and quarter over quarter. All are up. Especially their net income was up 158%. An amazing growth rate. So if they continue this way, for sure the market cap will go up a lot. Now, those are just their fundamentals. So the business has improved. There is no doubt. But we also have to look at the future. What are their opportunities? By the way, these two are cousins, Lisa and Jensen. You can see here. Check. Lisa Su, the CEO of AMD. And you see here, relatives. Jensen 1, cousin. And maybe Lisa will surpass Jensen. They are competing with each other. That may happen. So let's see their opportunities. And if you look at their opportunities, large growth opportunities, you can see two main segments, data center and client. Same thing as NVIDIA. And for data center, this segment, you look at their growth rate. And you can see that the revenue was up over 122% year over year. So you see how great this segment is doing. And also their operating income was up to 1 billion, from 300 million to 1 billion. Great margins. Operating margins 29%. The next segment, client, same, revenue has increased by 29%, and also their operating income. Now, they also have other segments where the revenue was down 69%, and embedded segment 25%. And this is the reason why you don't see a pop in the stock price, a huge bump. You can better see here. Data center up, client up, but gaming and embedded are down. But overall, if you look at the overall revenue, you can see that the highest segment is data center and client. The other two are quite small compared to data center and client. So you don't have to worry about the other two segments, even though their growth rate is down. Focus on their most important opportunity, AI. So let's continue with their opportunities. For data center, because this is the most important segment. You can see here their clients, Microsoft, Oracle, and they announced a new acquisition, ZT Systems, to expand their data center AI systems capabilities. And they are paying for this company 4.9 billion. 75% will be with cash and the remainder in stock. This is important because as they sell those chips, which are important for data centers, more and more cloud providers need a complete system, not only those chips, to have a complete infrastructure, the whole server or cluster. And as AMD is doing this acquisition, they'll be able to improve their final solution for data center. Now, don't expect a huge increase in revenue from this acquisition. The most important is their products. Instinct, GPUs, and EPIC. Those are the most important for data centers. And for client, the well-known AMD Ryzen Zen 5. Now, as NVIDIA is the leader in this industry, data center, with their GPUs, AMD is well positioned to take advantage, to compete with Jensen, their GPUs. And for the moment, as you've seen, NVIDIA has 3.3 billion in market cap, but AMD only 200 billion. Just think about those cloud providers, their clients. They don't want only one provider of GPUs to be the only one. Because if NVIDIA is the only provider, they can increase their prices year by year. And that will put pressure on their margins, especially for those cloud providers. But with AMD, those cloud providers will want to buy their products to increase competition and lower the prices for NVIDIA and also AMD. If AMD is producing a product, a chip, close to NVIDIA H100 or 200, then those cloud providers will buy this product, especially if it's cheaper. And of course, if AMD succeeds to produce a better product, a better chip than NVIDIA, then the balance will change. AMD will rise in market cap and may surpass NVIDIA. Of course, that won't happen in the short term. It will take time, because to produce a new chip, to design it, it takes time. But if you look at their growth rate, especially of AMD, their products, and compare it with NVIDIA, they are close. And you can see here in this table the amazing growth rate for data center. So cloud providers are asking for their products, for their chips. Now, the next question you should ask is, what are the risks? Because AMD is in the early stages. They have one product, as you've seen here, this AMD Instinct, which is close to NVIDIA H100 here, on par with NVIDIA H100. And if they can attract more companies, more cloud providers to their platform and developers to build new applications, then AMD can compete with NVIDIA. And if that happens, for sure the market cap of AMD will increase a lot. I don't expect 3 trillion or to surpass NVIDIA, because it will take a lot of time, and I don't know if that is possible. But for sure, from the current level, the market cap can double, more than double, if the demand for the chips continues. And to understand this, you also have to look at their ecosystem for NVIDIA and AMD. If you are working in this industry, especially with NVIDIA products, you'll understand better. As you probably know, NVIDIA, their product GPU H200, is backed by CUDA ecosystem, which dominates the AI ML landscape. Based on this ecosystem CUDA, developers can implement new applications using frameworks like TensorFlow, PyTorch, and other libraries. These are about programming in Python. And if this CUDA ecosystem continues to expand to attract more developers, then this may become the gold standard. For the moment, it is. And you have to ask the question how hard it is to switch from this ecosystem CUDA to Radeon Open Compute Platform, this ecosystem from AMD. And that's the key, because as you know, NVIDIA was first with their product, the GPUs for data centers, and then AMD came up with a new product to compete with NVIDIA. And I think that because of high prices Nvidia is charging their customers, AMD will succeed to develop their ecosystem. In every market you go, you see 2 or 3 competitors, main competitors. And if AMD can be the second one, doesn't matter if it's in the first place or the second one, then the market cap of AMD can grow a lot in the future. And for sure, those cloud providers will want AMD to succeed because they want lower prices for those GPUs. And as Nvidia is the only provider of high performance GPUs, they have no choice but to go to Nvidia and buy their products. But as AMD has come up with a new product, those cloud providers are happy to work with AMD to help them to expand their ecosystem. This Radeon Open Compute. As you see here, Nvidia is the winner. Has a larger ecosystem, and for the moment they dominate this AI field. But you always have to look at the future. What's next? What's the next $1 trillion company? And AMD is well positioned, especially if their growth rate continues quarter by quarter. You can see here for the last 9 months, revenue for data centers has more than doubled from 4.2 billion to 8.7 billion. You don't see in the total revenue because they are losing ground in these 2 segments, gaming and embedded. But as you can see, the revenue is getting lower and lower for those 2 segments. And the next decline won't matter that much to overall revenue. So next year, 2025, the revenue of AMD can increase a lot, especially with their new products. Here, AMD Instinct and Epic. Plus, you can also look at the operating income. The highest margins are from data center and then client. And of course, embedded. You can see that the operating income from data centers has increased from 600 million to over 2.3 billion. And that's amazing. If they double again these numbers, then AMD will grow a lot in market cap. You see total operating income of only 1 billion because they have some charges. Here, amortization 1.8 billion and stock-based compensation. If you exclude them, only the amortization for their acquisition, their net income, operating income, should have been higher. Double, 2.8 billion. So you can see from their numbers that this business continues to grow, and I believe that their clients are happy to have AMD on the stage to compete with Nvidia because it will lower the prices for those GPUs, and their customers are happy. They will pay less for those chips. And of course, the last question I've already answered. Will the stock price go up? And of course, it will go up because of the huge demand in data centers. You can see here. Amazing growth rate. And this will continue for sure. So that's it for this video. And if you have other questions, please let me know in the comments.